More thoughts on marriage, important of marriage, and Lord knows that we all have things to work on, and there are really, when you reach out online, there's a lot of pretty good tips on marriage and how to keep things together and how to keep things fresh, and um, I think a lot of evidence, frankly, a lot of emphasis put on our culture on performance and sexual prowess, and the Viagra commercials where the guy's got this truck and he's going through the mud and he says, "At my age, I got to be tough," and stuff like that. I mean, a certain amount of that is okay, but love is more than just the sexual act too, and I think that we still have a lot to learn as a culture on that too. So, but anyway, getting back to marriage, there's a lot of ways, and sensual ways, that you can be with your partner, not necessarily, that the sex is a part of it, but there's that whole integration of friendship and the relationship and everything is important. And just, a point that I made in the last video, to be real with her is very important. And don't forget the little things, the little thank yous, and little, building them up in any ways you can, or even by listening to them and saying, that's a great point. I'll say, that's a great point, Debbie, that you make about that, or try to find one thing about what she says that's great and just jump on it and do that. Call each other during the day for no reason. Sometimes I do call and she says, "Why are you calling me?" Kind of thing. So that can kind of blow up in your face too. Clean up the house without asking. That's always nice. Do some things without asking, because the house is looking pretty clean today, but maybe there's some things I can do. But just that sense of working together. Comment on how they look. Comment on a new hairstyle. Gosh, if they change their hairstyle, don't miss that. You look really nice with the hair color, or you really surprised me with how nice you look today. Something new. We get caught in the same old conversation patterns. I think that can be the most deadly. Is we get into these conversation patterns where life becomes not fun anymore. It's not thrilling. It's not exciting. And to remain with one person and keep it exciting, that is definitely a challenge. You can do, if you're religious, you can do devotions together. You can dance together. We do that once in a while. Dance in the kitchen, or I've heard of people even dancing after the movie credits are done. They have the song and then they get up and dance and that kind of thing. So, and don't jump to conclusions on what they mean. Sometimes I'll step in and, my wife said to me recently, "This is really serious. You're not listening to me. This is really serious." And I said, "What are you talking about, divorce, or what are you talking about?" And then she's saying, "Well, are you taking it way too far here? You're taking it way too far." And so, kind of, we were tired, and there's that old 10 p.m. rule: never argue after 10 p.m. So we probably should live by that too. But it wasn't a terrible thing, but sometimes I just like to cut to the chase on things. Okay, what are you really meaning? So basically, enjoy the small things. Enjoy the small things, and don't forget to flirt with each other too. You can still do that and make it fun, or even in public, or just make it fun. Not to be exhibitionist or anything, but just flirt around with your wife in public. That's kind of cool, right? Give them a compliment in public in front of other people. That's really go. Debbie's a great caretaker. She's a wonderful teacher. I do that a lot in public. Go to a park and walk around. One of the list says have sex at least once a week. So, I don't know if there's a number there. I don't think there's a number, but it's more qualitative, not quantitative. It's highly qualitative. Hold hands in public. Increase your conversations about intimate topics. Try to get as deep with that person as possible that they feel comfortable with. You can lead a project together. Let's say if you have a church group or something, you can lead a committee or something, or join a book club together, or there's so many ways. People think their hands are strapped on these things, but there's so many ways to change things up and make things better. Make her dinner, surprise her, do the dishes, and then massage her feet. How about that? Wouldn't that be something, huh? Have dinner ready for them when they get back. See, I never know when she's coming back from work, so I could have lunch ready today, but I don't know what time she's coming back. Never introduce your wife as my old lady, the ball and chain, or fatso. That's one of the things on this top list of what to do or not to do online here. Yeah, I don't think I would ever call her the old lady. I don't think I would even want to do that. Sometimes the way people kid around can be destructive too. So when you kid around, use humor. You got to be careful that you don't dig too deep at somebody or take too much of a swipe at them. Play games with each other. We've done. We play Words with Friends a lot together. That's kind of a cool way to connect. It's when we can't be together, we play Words with Friends when I'm at lunch at work, and so that's important too. Of course, if you're religiously inclined, pray together. Pray for your family. Pray for deep prayers about the world, about your friends, about your family. Read a book together. That can be good too. Remember that they're not your property. They're not your spouse. These guys saying my wife. They kind of tell that they're possessive. Well, this is my wife. They're like the trophy wife. I don't want to get into that. And she's her separate person, and I hope she respects that I'm a separate person with separate personality, separate sense of humor. Where we meld together. We're two flames, not one. Respect them as a person. Send little love notes once in a while. Put them under the pillow. Remember they have infinite souls, and that you're not done getting to know them. So, if you've been married 18 years, or if you're married 30 or 40 or whatever, there may be that one thing you can uncover, like a treasure, from them. Oh, I never knew this about you. Or a certain way of interacting. Oh, I didn't know that you interacted that way. That's kind of neat. So be there to serve them and help them and show her that you want to be intimate, and hold hands and slow down, and don't be a workaholic, and slow down the pace and be peaceful together. Take dance lessons. That's something we're trying to do, but now since I've started working nights, we waited a year on these things, and now we can't do it again. But we want to try to do that too. Talk about your favorite TV shows together. Always, again, the whole theme here is building them up. Tell each other your dreams. Tell each other your desires. Tell each other your ideal fantasies. It doesn't have to be sexual fantasies, but fantasies about life. Tell her she looks terrific. You look fantastic. Tell them something from childhood she doesn't know about me from childhood. Tell what you like. Tell them gently what you don't like. Tell them how you would want to be treated, or be honest too. If use I statements if you feel mistreated, and I feel is better than you. Saying you're out to get me, or you did this against me, and you're horrible. Just turn it into an I statement. I feel upset when you continue this argument, and it's 11:30 at night, and I think there's just a better time to talk about these things, and I feel upset that you're going on with this, and can we please do it tomorrow? And we'll settle it. I'm confident we'll settle it tomorrow. Write a letter to him or her. Write a letter to your wife. I think some people are just really afraid to let their true personality show with their partner. Even just as we develop in this ever in sort of an increasingly intimate. I think the boundaries of infinity of intimacy are infinite. That's redundant a little bit, but so you can, it's kind of like that old saying about you go halfway to the wall, and you go halfway of that halfway, and you go halfway of that halfway. You can keep going on infinitely, and you never get to the wall. The same thing with intimacy. is you can keep going halfway, halfway, halfway. So you keep learning about each other, and it never stops. You can keep going and learning, and I think the wall analogy is a good one there. So you keep learning, and that you really never stop, and you're always on this road of discovery with the person. So of course, it's great to have a list or so on and so forth, but putting these things into action is, there's a funny website called To Love, Honor, and Vacuum, giving some tips too. Find ways to say I love you that don't involve sex, and leave the toilet seat down, and that can be more important than you think. He needs you to be his cheerleader. Let him know you believe he can take on the world. Build him up, or if you're the husband, build her up. You can do this. I'm so proud of that you interviewed today. I'm so proud of you that you were so confident in your interview. You look smashing. You look fantastic. Talk to your spouse more kindly than you would talk to anybody else in the world. Too often we speak the most harshly to the closest ones. Remember that marriage is less about marrying the right person and more about becoming the right person. Don't forget to laugh. Most couples spend the majority of their time talking logistics. Who's doing the grocery shopping, business, the checkbook, what do we need for this, what do we need for that, give me this amount, I need to do this, who's calling the repairman, who's picking up the kids. A relationship cannot survive on logistics. Have a water fight instead or something. Don't be afraid to be kids around each other and smile and laugh and be wacky. And I'm trying to start to show more of the wacky, funny side, and that's going to increase years in my life because I'm less stressful, more peaceful with myself too. So sometimes I tend to get too anxious. I need to be aware of the barometer of anxiety and just keep that at a certain level. And I think that there's more self-control there than I had thought before. When I'm peaceful, confident, other people around me will be peaceful and confident, and that carries on and on and on. So I can build a chain of love and caring and concern, positive energy. I can build that from my own core, and sort of like a ripple effect to my world. When you're having an argument, listen to understand. Don't listen to find loopholes so you can win the argument. Marriage is either a win-win or a lose-lose. You can't win by beating somebody else down. That's a common error, I would think. Let her cry too. She needs to do that every now and then. We lost a family member recently, and if my wife wants to cry, and I'll just be there for her and help her out and show my sensitivity. We need to show our sensitive sides. We all think we have to be so tough all the time, but showing a sensitive side is not a weakness, and that's something I'm trying to teach my teenager. So make her the most important thing. Make one of your favorite topics of conversation how you can admire your spouse. Tell your kids, tell your friends, let your spouse hear how much you admire your wife. I've heard these people talk about their wives and really building them up, and I'm thinking, boy, they have to have really, really cool marriages. Men would be ecstatic if women showed up and brought them food. Most women need more than that. Okay, I don't have to go into that. It's more, obviously more than just the sex. It's important, but there are all these things you can do to grow together, and I really do think that we can grow together. It's very important to grow together in the relationship and share humor and good spirits and laughing. Life is way too short to be super serious and stressed all the time. So there's some thoughts on marriage, and sort of ending my thoughts on marriage and what needs to be done to continually work on. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. It's only improving marriages. You improve what you have, and you keep taking steps, hopefully in the right direction. Hopefully in the right direction. A couple articles in the news here. I'm kind of getting tired of the presidential race. It's just so much backstabbing by both sides. I'll just be glad when it's done. But I still believe that Obama is more hope and Romney is more with the cold corporate type interests. So, and if somebody can change my mind on that, that's great. But let's see. It looks like the National Football League regular referees will return to the field tonight after reaching a tentative labor deal. So finally, that's done. I think they were worried about rioting at stadiums if they had the fake refs in there. But there's a article in the news today about a Seattle. Let's see. It's a Seattle story. This is really a weird story. It's about a woman. I think that was it. That woman that faked cancer. I think. Yeah, the Lori Stilley told her friends and family that she had bladder cancer. They delivered meals, held raffles, and a T-shirt sale. Hastily planned and paid for her wedding and raised more than $10,000 for her treatment. But prosecutors say it was all a scam. Stilley is 40 years old, was charged with theft by deception charges. Her lawyer denies. Well, how can you deny that? Either she's tricking people or she's not, right? So imagine holding raffles and meals and family picnics and T-shirt sales, and then the person says, "Ah, just kidding. I was just trying to manipulate you guys." Authorities say she told family and friends last year that she had stage 3 bladder cancer and would need chemotherapy and radiation. 2 months later, she told them and posted on her Facebook page and personal website, and that it was now in stage 4, which means the cancer was spreading to other parts of her body. Now, apparently, people are saying she faked it. Prosecutor Robert Bernardi calls the scam extremely cruel. I just don't know. How can these people have a conscience and do these kinds of things? Is there something missing in their brains that they don't have this connection for people, that it's all a manipulative scam, and life is more of a manipulation game rather than true feelings? And wow, she even wrote this woman wrote an e-book about her experience. Oh my gosh. How a Facebook group loved me through my bladder cancer. $14.99 a copy. Her own sister turned her in. Told a local TV station she became suspicious when her sister's story changed quickly. Soon after telling friends and family she was making hospice plans and was being given a month to live, she posted to Facebook that she felt a miracle was coming and she was feeling better all of a sudden. D.G. Vianney said that she believes her sister needs mental health help. Oh yeah, but she's got to take some responsibility. I mean, this sounds like a manipulative. I mean, sure, I don't know. Then you can say, "Oh, yep, that was crazy. I don't need to go to jail. That's fine. I'll just go to treatment." And you have to bear some responsibility with this too. You're tricking people. The prosecutor's office apparently has not presented any competent evidence that will lead people to believe that they're able to prove my client did anything wrong. That's a quote from the attorney for Stilley. He says, "The only evidence I'm aware of are statements made that I believe to be slanderous in nature." So maybe this is not done yet. This is red meat for the tabloids, folks. But boy, if this woman is truly doing this, I mean, where is she? Where is her conscience? It's gone, apparently, just totally gone. It's really cruel to those who are concerned, and they worked hard to raise money, and people worried about it and were crying about it probably, and then they uncover this cold-hearted manipulator, apparently, if this is true. So, cold-hearted manipulation, one of the scariest things in the world. It really, really is. And there are people like that, the mafia types, sociopaths, that they're playing a role, and they're definitely getting what they want. They're on this narrow path to getting what they want, and they don't see the rest of the picture. There are some dangerous people like that, and it certainly seems like she is in the sociopathic realm from the evidence so far that I'm reading. But again, I'm not a psychiatrist, so. But pretty dangerous people out there that would do if we live in an economy where people will do everything for money like that, or where the sociopathic types will come out and do these desperate things, it's kind of a sad state of the world that people have to get this desperate for money. So, all right, well, that's it, and I hope you guys have a good weekend. It's beautiful weather here in the central part of the United States, and we're looking at about 70 degrees and sunny. And wish me luck not drinking too much beer at my nephew's wedding on Saturday night.